Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a Sephora haul follow-up. So whenever I do any hauls here on my channel, I will always come back after a couple weeks, give my full thoughts, my full reviews on everything. So I will link my Sephora haul down below if you haven't seen it, but if you want to get my reviews on all of these products when we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so I picked up a new foundation recently from Sephora. This is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. Looks like so. This is $48. The shade I picked up is 2N2 Linen. It is what I have on my skin today. I did do an eye tutorial for my Instagram, so if you're interested in this eye look, that will be going up on my Instagram shortly, or if it's already up, I will have it linked in my description box. But I do also have a lot of the products I'm going to be talking about on my face today. So I do have this foundation on. It is a little bit darker, which works for me right now because I was just in Punta Cana on vacation a couple weeks ago and I still have my tan going on from there. So it's a pretty good shade match for me at this moment, but definitely once the tan fades, I'll probably only be able to wear it when I am self-tanning. This foundation, I've actually really struggled with trying to figure out what I think about it. So it's supposed to give you a luminous finish. It's supposed to be more hydrating. You're supposed to be able to do a medium to full coverage on it. It says it's up to a 15-hour wear time. And when I was first wearing this in the Sephora haul video, I had applied it, I think for the first time before I was filming that video. I didn't do like a try on haul, but I gave some of my first thoughts. I thought my skin looked amazing in that video. And when I was taking photos afterwards, I was like, my skin looks just bomb. And then the next time that I wore this foundation, I was like, shoot, I don't feel like my skin looks that good. And I remember I had grabbed for it because we were going to be out for a while and we were with friends, and I just wanted my skin to look like how it did when I was filming that video, and I didn't get that same effect. And I've been playing with it with different primers, even different like setting sprays, different brushes, different sponges, etc. And I'm trying to figure out what is the best way to use this foundation. What I think I've come to the conclusion with is that my skin has to look really nice. Like, my skin has to be in really good shape in order for me to wear this foundation. Usually, because I work from home, generally I film my YouTube videos around like the 11 to 1 p.m. Mark. I do my skincare in the morning, and then, you know, I'm here, I'm working for a couple hours, and then I will do my makeup. I've noticed that I like to apply almost like another moisturizer before I'm going to be using this foundation. I do have dry skin, which is why I gravitated towards this, because I like foundations that either give a natural finish or a luminous finish. I'm not really a matte foundation kind of girl. But even though this is supposed to be luminous, and a lot of times I wouldn't pair luminous with like a dewy primer or, you know, put, you know, a nice moisturizer on beforehand, I honestly feel like my skin has to be in really good shape for me to wear this foundation. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem to sit right on my skin. That was what I was finding after a couple times. Like when I was using it, when I was going through like a lot of dry patches, I just didn't feel like it looked great. And I can grab out other luminous foundations, like the L'Oreal True Match Lumi is one of my favorites. No matter what kind of skin I'm having, that foundation just looks great on me all of the time. Like, there's no playing around with the True Match Lumi. It's always gonna look bomb on me. So that's something that I feel like I've noticed with this foundation. So if my skin is nice and prepped and I got that dewy primer on, I think that it looks really good. I also kind of do prefer this one with a sponge. I used it with a brush today because I just didn't have a clean sponge, and I'm not super thrilled at it. I think that it can get a little bit streaky, and I've tried it with 3 different foundation brushes, and I felt the same with all of them. So I don't think it's the brush. Something about the foundation, I just think it needs that damp sponge to just give you like a really smooth effect to the skin. So I would prefer it with a sponge, even though a lot of times, since this is more liquidy, I generally prefer liquidy foundations to be applied with the brush and to get a little bit more coverage with it. But this one, I still think it's best to be applied with the sponge. Other than that, I do like the foundation. I do like it. I don't think it's not going to be a favorite of mine. I know that. I know that it's not going to be a favorite of mine because sometimes it's just a little bit hit or miss, and I would prefer, and I have plenty of foundations in my collection that are not. I know what I'm going to get every single time, again, no matter what my skin is looking like, you know, no matter if I put my skincare on hours before or just before I'm applying it. So that's kind of what I think about this one. It does have a pump on it, which I do like the pump, but for whatever reason, when I pump it out, a very small amount of product goes on. So I have to pump this like 6 or 7 times just to get like a normal amount of foundation that I would normally use. And again, like comparing it to the L'Oreal True Match Lumi, I pumped that thing 2 times and I have a lot. So I guess that could be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it, and maybe it's a good way to not overuse foundation. But for me, I'm kind of like, okay, what is going on here? Other than that, I like the packaging on it. I do agree with medium to full coverage. I do like the coverage it gives the skin. I do like the more luminous look to it. I just wish that it would last a little bit longer. And again, my biggest gripe with it is that I don't feel like I know what I'm getting with this foundation, if my skin's gonna look great or if it's gonna look not so good. So I don't know. Have you guys tried the Laura Mercier foundation? What do you think about it? I've seen so many good reviews on it. It was a big reason why I purchased the foundation, because I was seeing really great reviews on it, but I'm just kind of like I lean more towards I like it and I'm going to keep it. You know, I'm not going to return it because I do like it. I just wish it was a little bit more consistent, if you will, if that makes sense. Yes. Okay, so I also tried in there the Fenty Beauty Concealer. So many brands are coming out with concealers right now. I decided to grab the Fenty when I was at Sephora. I grabbed the shade 170. Again, I do have it on my under eyes today. It is a little bit lighter. I think that it matches well with the Laura Mercier, which again is a little bit dark. And then if I mix it in with a little bit of a lighter concealer, I feel like once everything is blended out, things are going pretty smooth. This one is $26. It does have quite a few claims on it. It says creamy, long wear. It's supposed to be crease proof. It says light as air, medium to full coverage to brighten the under eyes and conceal. So I agree with some of them. I do not agree with crease proof. I think that my under eyes start to crease right away. I definitely recommend using you know, a powder with this one to kind of help get away those creases on the under eyes, because I do think it's pretty creasy. I do think it's more on the dry side too. When I use this concealer, I will apply, you know, one under eye and then blend it out and set it right away. And then I will go in into the other eye, apply, blend out, set right away also to try to help with that creasing. So a little bit more on the drier side. I prefer to use a sponge with it. When I use like my concealer brush, I just feel like I'm super draggy on my under eyes, which I do not prefer that either. I do think that it does brighten. Again, my shade's a little bit lighter, but I do think that it's good for brightening. And it does help, you know, I noticed that it has that medium to full coverage. It's not the most full coverage concealer that I've ever tried, and I generally prefer more full coverage concealers, but I think it's kind of real good in that medium coverage, if you will, and you can kind of add a little bit more to get a little bit more coverage. This isn't my favorite concealer out of, you know, like I said, there's a lot of new concealers coming out. Still right now, I think out of the new concealers, Jouer is my #1, and I think Cover FX would be my #2, and then probably the Fenty. Again, it's just a little bit more dry for my preference. I like more hydrating concealers. You know, the Too Faced Born This Way is probably my favorite right now. The Urban Decay Naked Skin has still been a favorite for a long time. So this is just a little bit more on the dry side. I feel like I have to take my time more blending it out. And then also I do think that it creases pretty quickly. So again, it has its pros and it has its cons, and you know, we look for different things with concealers and all makeup really, but this one I'm just kind of, I like. Again, I don't love it. I like it. It's good. I'll continue to use it and all that, but I'm kind of bummed because I was really wishing that it was going to be like a new favorite of mine, but for what I look for personally in my concealers, it's just an all right product for me. Next up though, this is one that I've really been liking. This is from Milk Makeup. This is their cream bronzer, stick bronzer, and I got the shade Baked. I believe there's 2 different shades. These are $24. I've been liking this so much. I did a video recently on products I regret not trying sooner, and I mentioned the Milk bronzer, and I actually said one of the reasons why I regret it is because when I was looking to add another cream bronzer to my collection, I went with the Fenty Matchstick in Mocha, and I don't love it. And then I finally picked this one up from Sephora, and I like it so much more. And I've heard people say great things about this bronzer, but for whatever reason, I was like, oh no, the new is Fenty, you know, I should go with that one. I like this one so much more. I do have it on today as my cream bronzer, and I just think that it's beautiful. I can apply this directly to my skin and blend it out. I can blend it out with a sponge. I can blend it out with a brush. It blends out so easily. The Fenty is just way more dry, and when you try, like if you apply it to your face and you try to blend it out, it's just like kind of a hot mess. I have to apply it to my hand, dip my sponge in it, and apply it that way, and I feel like I'm wasting a lot of product that way, and it's just more time consuming. Like, I got bronzer all over my hand. I have to wash my hands. Oh my gosh. what is the world coming to? You know what I'm saying? But this one, I can apply it directly to my skin. It doesn't matter what I have to be able to blend it out. It blends out so just seamlessly. I think that it looks so beautiful on the skin. It looks nice and natural. This is a really, really nice cream bronzer option. I'm really upset that I wasn't trying it sooner, of course, since it made it into that video, but this is a good one. I've been very impressed with that from Milk Makeup. Another item that I picked up from Fenty that I really, really do like, this is the Gloss Bomb, and this is in Diamond Milk. This is such a pretty shade, and I said in my Sephora haul that I actually went into Sephora. I bought a couple items, the foundation and the concealer. I was considering the Milk Bronzer and this lip gloss, and I was like, no, don't do it. I came home and still wanted those two products so badly that I went online and placed an order for them. I just couldn't get this one out of my head. I had swatched it in the store. Whenever I see people wearing it, I think their lips look so beautiful. I also, well, I own all of them actually. I own the original Gloss Bomb, which is not my favorite. I think that one pulls just more orangey on me, and with my skin tone, I just don't think it looks super flattering. But Fussy, the pink one, I think is beautiful, and I love pink. I think that one looks so good. Such a nice gloss. And this one. These are definitely my top two out of the 3 lip balms that have been released from Fenty. Diamond Milk just gives this beautiful sheen to the lips. It's got a little bit of sparkle in there. It's really good with like darker lip liners or a dark brown lip liner or some or darker nude. It just looks so beautiful. It makes your lips look fuller. I've been so happy with my Diamond Milk. Diamond Milk and Fussy, those are my favorites, so if you have a preference, go for it. I wouldn't wear this on its own. Like Fussy I could wear on its own. This one I would not want to wear on its own. I would want it topped over something, but I think it's beautiful, so I'm not regretting this one. And then lastly in that video, when I had made my online order, there was like a promo code to get a free Sephora Play box or Play by Sephora box. So that is Sephora's like monthly subscription. It's $10 a month, and then they send you products. And I was curious about it because I've seen other people like unboxing the box and all of that, and I thought it was a good one because all of the products obviously can be found at Sephora, where, you know, sometimes with other boxes you're getting brands that you don't know a lot about or they're not as easy to get. So when I saw that I was able to get it for free, I was like, why not just try it out? And I unboxed it in there, and I was, you know, trying to decide, would it be something fun to sign up for? I'm not currently signed up with anything. So I was like, maybe it could be fun to sign up for and maybe like do unboxings and such. And I was reading everyone's comments because a lot of people commented about that. And kind of what I decided, and like looking at the products, because I even said in the video, I was like, I don't know if this is enough for me for like $10 a month if I would have paid for it, if I would have been like super excited for it. And especially after reading the comments, I decided I'm not going to sign up for it because it is only $10 a month, which isn't terrible, but you are also only getting sample sizes of products, and I just feel like I can get those anyways on Sephora. You know, you usually get 2 free samples with any order, and there's like the bonus offers where you can put a code in and typically get some sort of sample item, etc. And so I was like, I don't know if I see the benefit of this. Maybe if there was a full-size product in there or something like that, even if it was a little bit more money, maybe it would be more worth it. But yeah, kind of seeing what I got the first time and then reading through the comments of what you guys thought. You know, if you've signed up for the subscription and how you thought about it, I was like, yeah, I don't think it would really make sense to sign up for. You know, I place plenty of Sephora orders as it is. Like, I'm always getting free samples. A lot of times I have too many, and I sell a lot through the Poshmark app. And typically when anyone purchases anything, but especially if they purchase like a makeup item that I've put in there, I put makeup samples in the bag as like a thank you, because I get so many because I do make a lot of online orders. So I was like, yeah, that probably wouldn't make the most sense for me. So I've decided not to sign up for the Sephora Play. And thank you so much for all of the comments and all of your feedback. I really do appreciate it. I know I ask a lot of questions in my videos, but it's like I'm generally curious. Generally. So I appreciate that so much. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Those are all of my thoughts on the products that I hauled recently from Sephora. I would love to hear your thoughts down below, of course. I'm working on a new Sephora order. There's a couple new items that came out, and I'm just waiting for a couple more new releases. So you should see a Sephora haul probably in the next couple weeks here or so from me, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you enjoyed this follow-up video. If you did, please make sure to give this one a thumbs up. I would love if you would subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.